Welcome guys back to another video in the channel. Today we're doing Premier League predictions matchday 36 and we've got some huge games in the Premier League such as Arsenal versus Liverpool and the likes of Leicester City versus Sheffield United, so let's get straight into it. First game is Chelsea versus Norwich. Now, for Chelsea, they are very struggling in the Premier League because in the last game, they had a very shocking defeat to Sheffield United, a 3-0 loss, which is very, very disappointing for them. And Manchester United haven't played yet as of recording, so I can't really say much about that. But Man United could leapfrog Chelsea and get into third position, which is very big. So Chelsea, they could be bottling top four at the moment, but it seems like they will still make top four because of the teams around them, the inconsistency of them. So I still do think Chelsea will make top four, but the team they're up against are now relegated. Norwich City have been relegated from the Premier League after they lost 4-0 to West Ham. Mikel Antonio scoring a quadruple, which just sealed Norwich's demise, and it put West Ham in a very good position because now they're 34 points, and because Mikel Antonio scored 4 goals, which resulted in a 4-0 win, they've got a better goal differential than Watford now, which means that I'm pretty sure now they will be safe, even though they're still 3 points off Bournemouth for an 18th position, who did get a brilliant win against Leicester City. Now, Norwich, I don't think they have anything to play for. I don't think they'll really try in this game, which is why for Chelsea it's going to be a very easy win for them, I think, and I think Chelsea will win 3-0 in this one. Next game is Burnley versus Wolves. I think this is a very interesting game in the Premier League because Burnley are doing quite well at the moment, even though they've had a lot of contract issues in them. They've still managed to pull out a 1-1 draw against Liverpool. Obviously, Nick Pope was very good in that game, and you would expect him to be good. You know, he is an England international. And for Burnley, they're up against a Wolves side who had a good 3-0 win against Everton. Everton have looked very shocking though, so it wasn't a surprise that Wolves won that game. But for Burnley, they will be looking to build on and keep trying to come through, you know, as far as they can in the table. They're on 50 points, level on points with Arsenal, I must say, with -8 goal differential. Obviously, Arsenal on 7, so I don't think they'll beat them in that respect. But obviously, Arsenal have Liverpool next and Burnley have Wolves next, as I just said. So Burnley, they do get a good result against the Wolves side, who are sitting in 6th position, 3 points behind United, who haven't played yet. So I have to take that into account. And there's a real possibility, you know, that Burnley could overtake the likes of Arsenal, maybe even Tottenham if Tottenham do slip up. But for me in this game, I think Burnley will lose this one. I think I'm going to give Wolves a 2-1 win here. Next game should be quite an interesting game, and it could be a very goal-filled game in my opinion, and it is Manchester City versus AFC Bournemouth. For Manchester City, they had a 5-0 win against Brighton with Albion, with Raheem Sterling scoring, Gabriel Jesus scoring, and Raheem Sterling scoring a brace in the 53rd minute with Bernardo Silva, and Raheem Sterling finishing off his hat-trick in the remaining parts of the game. So for Man City, that was a very comfortable win against a Brighton side who are pretty much safe now in the Premier League, so that was quite easy for Man City. But for Bournemouth, they actually had a shock 4-1 win against Leicester and scored 4 goals. That was incredible for Bournemouth. They went 1-0 down courtesy of Jamie Vardy, and then things just fell apart for them. They scored 2 goals in 1 minute, with Junior Stanislas and Dominic Solanke scoring. Soyuncu soon got sent off, and Johnny Evans scored an own goal, and then Dominic Solanke scored a brace, which secured a very good win for them. And Premier League safety, it still looks a bit hard, you know, there's still 3 points off Watford, but it looks like certain reality now, and I think it could be something, you know, this relegation battle now with Aston Villa, Bournemouth, Watford and West Ham all winning could look very interesting now. But Bournemouth are against a Manchester City side, and Man City, they're literally walking past every team they play, so I do think Man City will win this game against Bournemouth, but I don't expect it to be too tight because I think Bournemouth will put up a fight, but I'll still give Man City a 2-0 win. Next game is Newcastle versus Tottenham. Now for Tottenham, they had a North London derby win against Arsenal, which was a very shock to Arsenal, and in that game they actually went 1-0 down courtesy of a brilliant strike from Alex Lacazette. But 3 minutes later, Arsenal made a mistake and Heung-min Son equalised, and Toby Alderweireld in the 81st minute won the game from a corner, which sealed off a brilliant win there for Tottenham. For Newcastle, however, they had a 2-1 loss against Watford. Obviously, Watford are in the relegation battle, and they're 34 points, 3 points off Bournemouth, as I said earlier. And for Newcastle, they're not really chasing anything. They're in 13th position. They're safe in the Premier League. 1 point off Southampton, and 2 points off Everton. So again, they're not chasing anything. So I do think Tottenham will win this one just because they are playing the better they've got a bit of confidence in that North London derby win, and Jose Mourinho would want to spur on that team to try and secure a place in the Europa League. Obviously they're in 8th position, 52 points, 2 points off Sheffield United, who are in 7th, and 3 points off Wolves. So they could catch Wolves possibly, but again, with the inconsistent form, you can't really say anything. And to be honest, I think I will give Spurs a victory here because Newcastle aren't playing for anything. So I'm going to give Tottenham actually a 3-1 win here. Next game is Arsenal versus Liverpool. I've done a preview separately on my channel, so go check that out if you want to, if you're interested in that. But to be honest, I do think Arsenal will get battered in this game. They are not playing at all well, and they had a 2-1 loss in the North London derby versus Tottenham, and they are playing on the Wednesday. And yeah, I have no hope in this game. I think if you have watched that preview already, you'd already know this. So for this game, I don't know what I gave in my match prediction, but I think I gave a 4-1 win to Liverpool. Next game is Everton versus Aston Villa. Now, Everton, they are looking very, very shocking, and wow, they are looking really, really bad, and they're sitting in 11th position, 5 points off Burnley, and I think they're not going to get any European football this season, so they're chasing mediocrity, and they're up against an Aston Villa side who actually had a shock win at the weekend, 2-0 win against Crystal Palace. There was a bit of VAR controversy and some red cards and things like that in that game, but again, I think Aston Villa will win this one against Everton just because they are the team who are in a fight in relegation battle, 30 points after 35 games, and they're 4 points off Watford, so a win here will be very, very crucial for them. And I do think Aston Villa will win this one in my opinion. The other team, they're actually chasing something, and Everton, they're not going to be, unless they have a complete attitude flip, they're not going to be any better in this game. So I do think Aston Villa will win this one. It will be a very tight and very interesting game to watch. I'll give this a 1-0 win for Aston Villa. Next one is also a very good game and will be a very featured game and a game to look forward to be honest, because it's Leicester City versus Sheffield United. Now, for Sheffield United and Leicester City, very contrasting form going into this and very contrasting confidence going into this, because for Leicester City, they had a shocking 4-1 loss against Bournemouth. I know a lot of Leicester fans actually want Brendan Rodgers out, so I think Brendan Rodgers, to change the mood of these Leicester fans, they really need to try and get a win here against a really good Sheffield United side who actually got a 3-0 win against Chelsea. And again, that was a very shock win for Sheffield United and would give them a lot of confidence because, obviously 5th place is not Champions League, so they're just trying to secure a place in the Europa League, which I think they will. They're on 54 points, 7th position, 35 games played, and they're 1 point off Wolves and 4 points off 5th Man United and 5 points off Leicester City. So winning this game will actually put them 3 points within Leicester City and, could give them a real fight in this game and something to motivate them. But for me, this looks like a draw for me, just because the teams, I think Leicester City will want to come back on track, and I do think Sheffield United will try their hardest. I think Leicester have the better quality team here, so I'm going to give this a draw. I'm going to give this a 2-2 draw. Next game is Crystal Palace versus Manchester United. Now, Manchester United haven't played yet, but they are up against Southampton, so it'll be interesting to see what happens in that game. But for Man United, top 4 is looking a real possibility for them, because if they win the game against Southampton, they do go above Chelsea, which will be very big. And obviously, if they do beat Southampton, they just want to keep going to the end of the season and secure that place in the Champions League. For me, my predictions, I think they will secure a place in the Champions League. I think they're a really good side at the moment. I think consistent wise, they are better than Leicester and Chelsea for me, which is why I do think Man United will easily win this game against Crystal Palace. For Palace's last game, they actually lost 2-0 to Aston Villa, so that would be very demotivating for them. Crystal Palace, again, not chasing anything, 14th position, 1 point behind Newcastle, 2 behind Southampton, and 3 behind Everton or 11th, so they're not chasing anything, they're already safe, and everything like that. So yeah, for me, in this game, I think Man United will easily win this one, which is why I'm going to give them a very, very comfortable 3-0 win in this one. Next game is Southampton versus Brighton. As I said just earlier, Southampton haven't played Manchester United yet, but they did actually get a 1-1 draw in their last game, which was actually against Everton, so they won't be going into this game against Man United with too much confidence because they're in so much form. But again, we'll be looking ahead to this game against Brighton. Obviously, Brighton had a 5-0 loss to Manchester City, and again, Brighton are already safe pretty much. not really chasing anything, so I'm pretty sure this is going to be a very tight game in my opinion. I think Southampton will win this one just because Brighton, not in the greatest form. They have had mixed and match results, obviously beating Arsenal and then, having a draw against Leicester and then lots of mixed match results, and this 5-0 loss against City, replicates that. And I do think this is going to be a Southampton win, and I do think likes of Danny Ings will get on the score sheet, which is why I will give Southampton a 2-0 win in this one. Last game is West Ham versus Watford. Now this is a huge game in terms of the relegation battle because the two teams are actually sitting on 34 points level on with each other. So this is going to be a huge game for the two sides because pretty much the winner of this game will pretty much be safe in the Premier League and won't really have to worry about anything. And I do think it's going to be a very tight game. I think quality wise the two teams pretty look the same. Like Ismail Assar-Troydini will be the key players for Watford, and quite a few players, the likes of Mikel Antonio, obviously for West Ham, who demolished Norwich at the weekend. So it's quite a hard game to predict because both teams are really bad on one day and really good on the other. So it's really hard to say, but 35 games played, 34 points each, minus 21 goal difference for Watford and minus 15 for West Ham. And I do think West Ham will win this one. They'll slightly win this one. I think it's a very tight game to predict. I'm going to give West Ham a 3-2 win. I think it's going to be a cracker. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you have enjoyed, please leave it a subscribe. And if you want to see more predictions, more content ideas, please leave it in the comment section below. See you guys next video. Bye bye.